Tonight on KGW News, not even the Girl Scouts are safe from supply chain delays.
There might be some delays, might take a little bit longer to get the cookies in customers' hands.
The wait just got longer for families hoping to get the vaccine for young kids. The Rose City sees record-breaking warmth for February. More shattered windows set back downtown restaurants.
It does add up and it makes it very hard.
And don't forget, Friday night's all about hoops. Your news starts now. We're starting with breaking international news tonight. The U.S. State Department is expected to announce soon that it will evacuate all American staff from its embassy in Ukraine. U.S. officials say a Russian invasion is increasingly imminent. According to the Associated Press, some officials may be relocated to Ukraine's far west so the U.S. can still have a diplomatic presence in the country. President Biden is also expected to talk with Russia's Vladimir Putin tomorrow.
But it is a crisis. It is an absolute crisis, and it requires a major response.
A new memo from Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's office details a big idea to try to help in Portland's homeless crisis. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of KGW News on this Friday night. The thought is to create 3 large shelter sites that could house 1,000 people each. The goal is to end the need for unsanctioned camps throughout the city. Alma McCarty got a copy of the memo today that went out to local and state government officials. Alma?
Laurel, the 8-page memo comes from former Portland mayor and current advisor Sam Adams. In it, he mentions that some of these suggestions might startle some, but it's important to note right now that's all they are, suggestions. Nothing has been approved.
The memo from the mayor's office describes a worsening homeless situation. From the more than 78,000 houselessness-related complaints last year to recent community polls, which show the many surveyed don't believe current efforts are working in Portland. Those points from advisor Sam Adams are followed by some big ideas on how the state, Multnomah County, Metro, and the city of Portland can address what is deemed a crisis and emergency disaster.
This requires an emergency response. Just like, how we respond to forest fires, we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis.
Jason Christensen, executive director of Union Gospel Mission, read through the memo Friday. He believes the outcome priorities are good ones.
Creating shelter for the houseless was one of them. Ending the need for unsanctioned camps. If we can get these places set up, we can eliminate that need and place them in there.
The memo lists some primary goals. Create shelter space for 3,000 homeless residents. Meet face-to-face with every unhoused person in Portland who has lived in the city for at least a year to offer them shelter. End the need for unsanctioned houseless camps and clean up public spaces. The memo notes a phased-in launch over 3 years.
We go out into the camps and we engage with people and we see how they are living in their tents. It's inhumane. There's no other word for it. It's inhumane, and people deserve to live better than that. I think that people want to see something done to the benefit of those that are experiencing houselessness.
This preliminary proposal drew criticism from Portland City Council. Commissioners Rubio and Hardesty tweeting that it's a non-starter. Commissioner Ryan's team said he remains opposed to the concept of mass encampments with inadequate services, and he supports a trauma-informed approach toward houselessness in Portland.
The memo suggests the shelters be staffed by unarmed National Guard members and PSU social work graduate students, and that those shelters be built in areas near light rail, MAX, or frequent bus service. You can find the full memo up now on KGW.com.
Thank you, Alma. Now to coronavirus news. Plans to get the COVID vaccine to kids younger than 5 are now delayed. Today, Pfizer postponed its FDA application to expand use of its 2-dose COVID vaccine to kids as young as 6 months. The company says it needs more data. It's currently testing whether 3 doses of the vaccine may be most effective for this age group. That data is expected in early April. In developing news, another act of vandalism for an Old Town restaurant. Mother's Bistro boarded up their shop after someone broke their window this week. The owner, Lisa Schroeder, told us they've dealt with broken windows 3 times since September.
breaking windows and other sorts of vandalism. It does add up, and it makes it very hard. And one has to be very tenacious to keep on going. But we're here to stay, and we're going to keep on going.
Schroeder said replacing the windows has cost them more than $5,000. But she also says while vandalism may be an ongoing problem, people should feel safe coming downtown. New tonight, you might have to wait a bit longer to get your Girl Scout cookie fix this year. Supply is impacted like many other products right now. The baker is having production delays. The good news, it looks like if you love Thin Mints, they should be readily available. But you might have trouble finding tag-alongs, trefoils, Samoas, my favorite, and the newer S'mores and Adventurefuls. The CEO of the Girl Scouts of Oregon and Southwest Washington says you will still be able to order whatever flavor you'd like. They just might take a few more weeks to arrive.
We expect to get all of the cookies that we need in order to fulfill all of our orders and what customers need, but there probably are going to be limited quantities available at the beginning, but they'll catch up kind of by the end of the sale.
Ordering starts February 18th and runs through March 20th. It was a major milestone for the Blanchet House today. The nonprofit that helps Portland's houseless population celebrated 70 years of service by recreating the first meal they served to people back in 1952. We talked to the last co-founder of the Blanchet House, 94-year-old Jim O'Hanlon, who said when they first started out, rent was only $35 a month, and volunteers didn't have much to spare themselves.
We didn't pay them a dime. No money, and we didn't have any place for them to sleep, but they did it anyway, and that's how we did it the first year. Then the second year, we wanted to rent the second floor for the guys that were working there could have a place to sleep, and he rented it the second floor for another $35.
Back in 1952, the menu included beans, bread, and coffee. But today they stepped it up with plenty of sides and meats.